Have you ever watched a team where everyone's clearly talented, but they're just not clicking together? That's exactly what happens in many global teams, where lots of individual skill, but no real teamwork. Today, we're tackling the 7th critical mistake business owners make when building global teams. It's the poor integration processes, because having great people isn't enough if they're not working as one team. Let me share something that might feel uncomfortable to talk about, but we really need to address this head on. In most global teams, there's an elephant in the room: double standards. Here's what it typically looks like. The double standard reality. An onshore team member takes a long lunch. It's networking. An onshore VA takes an extra 5 minutes. They're not dedicated, are they? A local staff member chats for 30 minutes. It's team building. An offshore team member joins a call late. It's unprofessional. But it goes deeper than that. The error double standard. Onshore mistake? These things happen. Let's fix it together. An offshore mistake? We need to review all their work now. If a local member misses a deadline, they're juggling multiple priorities. If a VA misses a deadline, offshore reliability is becoming a major issue. And here's what makes this particularly damaging. It's often unconscious. Good people with good intentions can fall into these patterns without even realizing it. But the impact on team trust and performance is very, very real. These double standards create massive ripple effects throughout your entire operation. Huge trust erosion. For example, offshore team members lose faith in leadership. Innovation gets stifled. Like, why take risks if you're being judged more harshly than onshore team? Communication becomes guarded and defensive. Collaboration suffers as teams stick to safe behaviors. Then you get the performance being impacted. Decreased motivation in offshore teams, lower morale leading to reduced productivity, and then quality suffers as team members feel undervalued. You then get creative solutions are being held back. It's a huge ripple effect. And then we look at the team dynamic, which starts to break down. Resentment builds between onshore and offshore teams. Communication barriers grow stronger, and then collaboration becomes forced rather than natural. What we start to see is us versus them mentality starts to take root. But here's the good news. Once we acknowledge these patterns exist, we can actually do something about it. So poor integration affects your business in ways that might not show up immediately, but it can be devastating over time. So we look at the performance impact. Team members reduce their effort in collective tasks. The collaboration starts to decrease due to too much uncertainty. Communication barriers slow everything down. Task ownership becomes really unclear, and then your innovation stalls due to lack of trust and two-way conversations. The social dynamic also takes a huge hit, where you have us onshore and them offshore. That mentality starts to develop. Team members start to withdraw from collaboration. That whole knowledge sharing starts to decrease, and engagement levels start to drop between offshore and onshore. Then you start to see this resistance towards the virtual support. What does it cost the business? Well, projects start to take longer than necessary. Quality suffers from lack of collaboration. The client satisfaction starts to decrease. And then you start seeing team turnover. This has a negative impact on operational costs. But here's the thing, these issues aren't inevitable. They're actually completely preventable with the right approach to integration. So how do we create real integration? Well, it starts with properly preparing our onshore teams, because successful global teamwork is a two-way street. First, we look at the cultural preparation. So comprehensive cultural awareness training, understanding of different communication styles and learning languages, appreciation of diverse work practices, and recognition of different perspectives. Regular cultural exchange sessions are key. Then you've got the communication infrastructure. So mix of sync and async communication tools, regular video conferences, non-negotiable, shared calendars across multiple time zones, and having clear communication protocols is key, along with having emergency escalation paths. Next, it's that trust building framework. So virtual team building exercises, informal virtual coffee chats, have lunch at the same time, cross-cultural project partnerships, joint problem-solving sessions, and regular celebration of shared wins. Finally, inclusive leadership, joint strategy sessions across locations, shared decision-making processes where possible, equal voice in improvements where possible, and recognition of all contributions. Regular feedback loops are key. Think of it like learning a new language. Like, it takes effort from everyone, but once you're speaking the same language, the possibilities are endless. Here's something crucial I've learned. The most successful global teams aren't the ones with the most sophisticated tools or the strictest processes. They're the ones where the onshore team sees their offshore colleagues as true partners, not just distant support staff. I often say they're not in another country in a dark room in front of a lit screen. They're your team members. So let's make this practical. Here's your roadmap for preparing your onshore team. Week 1, let's call it foundation building. Cultural awareness workshops. Have communication tool training. Time zone management setup and team expectation settings. Initial virtual introductions. Weeks 2 and 3, the integration process. So start with daily video calls. Implement a buddy system with someone on the team and begin collaborative projects together. Set up shared documentation like Google Drive and create feedback channels. Weeks 4 to 6, you're looking to strengthen those connections by having virtual team building activities, cross-cultural knowledge sharing, joint problem-solving exercises, even if it's just role-playing, performance metric alignments, and success celebration routines. Remember, your onshore team's readiness is just as important as your offshore team's capabilities. The goal isn't just to add support, it's to build one unified team that happens to work from different locations. Pro tip, start each day with a quick 15-minute video call where everyone shares one win and one challenge. I've seen this simple practice transform team dynamics in weeks. When businesses get integration right, the productivity soars, innovation increases, team satisfaction improves, and client results just get better. But most importantly, you create a team that actually feels like a team, regardless of where people are located. In our next video, we're going to explore mistake number 8, which is neglecting continuous improvement, because getting the integration right is just the beginning. Remember that building a global team isn't just about hiring people in different locations. It's about creating one unified force working towards a common goal. Subscribe to catch the next video and share your team integration challenges in the comments. Let's solve these together, and I'd really love to hear more about what challenges you face. So I'll see you in the next one.